So I don't normally do videos like this on my channel, but I've gotten a lot of questions about mouthpieces recently, and I'm lucky enough to have three of my favorites that I've ever tried in my possession right now. One is the Boston Sax Shop Vantage mouthpiece that I helped develop. The other is a Florida Auto Link. This is a 50th anniversary Florida Auto Link that was refaced by Gary Underwood. And then I got the new Selmer Jazz Tribute mouthpiece by Selmer Paris. Thank you to my friends at Con Selmer for giving this to me. This is in an 8 opening. So I have an 8 in the Selmer, a 101, like a 7 in the Auto Link, and a 7-star in the Boston Sax Shop. So I'm going to play into the same microphone, no effects, no equalization, just going to be pure, raw saxophone sound coming from these mouthpieces. And on the Selmer, I'm going to be, and I think the Auto Link, I'm going to be playing a Black Box 3 Boston Sax Shop reed, and then on the Vantage, I'll probably play a 3.5 silver box, because that just what feels the best for me. But I'll put it in the little text on the side exactly what reed I'm playing with each mouthpiece. So here we go. I'm going to play each of them first, and then talk to you about my thoughts. Okay, so let's talk about these three mouthpieces. Both are kind of going for a similar vibe. They have a, very Auto Link, I guess like maybe like 1950s, 60s kind of thing going for them. I know that the Boston Sax Shop mouthpiece is really in the style of an old Dukoff stubby. So, medium chamber to like very little baffle in it. And it has a very dark and centered sound. I think you can hear that through the mic. Very even. All three of these mouthpieces play very even through the horn, through all the ranges, altissimo and low end. I think the Boston Sax Shop is, like I said, the most centered and the least amount of buzz of these three. It's really easy to record with because the sound just kind of stays this way rather than spreading. Very easy to play. I've played this in an 8 as well and a 7-star, and I just prefer the 7. Overall, really great mouthpiece. I think the only thing that I might change about it would be the projection. It's a little bit harder to play louder on this. Maybe the resistance of the chamber or the resistance of the lack of baffle. But like I said, one of my favorite mouthpieces I've ever played, and I'm very happy that I was able to work on it with Jack and develop it. I played all the prototypes, gave my thoughts and feelings about it, and I think it's a fantastic mouthpiece. Highly recommend. All right, let's move on to this auto link. Now, my feelings about modern auto links are interesting. I've never played a modern auto link that I've liked. And when I say modern, I mean like anything from like the 2000s to now, you know. I knew about this 50th anniversary one when it came out, but again, I didn't really care about it because I've played other ones that were really not great out of the box. And I think they're kind of known to not play well out of the box. So when I found this one to be refaced by my friend Gary Underwood, I was curious about it. And I went to his shop and played a couple of them that he's refaced. And it really brought life into this mouthpiece. It plays very evenly. It's probably the brightest out of all of them. It does have more buzz than the Boston Sax Shop mouthpiece, but not as much as the Selmer Jazz Tribute. And I would say it is a little bit on the resistance side, on the low end. Sometimes I have a little bit of a hard time to play the lower end of this. This one has a really steep rollover, very little baffle. A little bit more than the Boston Sax Shop because it is a Florida link, which are known to be a little bit on the brighter side. But it has a very steep kind of rollover from the tip down into the chamber. And it's a little bit of a bigger chamber than the Boston Sax Shop mouthpiece. And but I really like this one. It adds that kind of link sort of sound to it. A very, like one of my buddies says, it's a very classic tenor sound. And I like a mouthpiece that is easy to manipulate. Like if I want to make it brighter, I can with my embouchure, my throat position, or my reed choice. I just want something that plays evenly, and I feel like I can control the brightness or the darkness or the buzziness or whatever. And this mouthpiece definitely does that. I think my only complaint, like I said, would be maybe some of the low notes, and the response is just a little bit worse than the other two mouthpieces, I would say. Like the first, right off the bat, the note, sometimes I feel like I have to maybe have faster air right off the beginning when the other two feel like it's kind of instantaneous. But fantastic mouthpiece, and if it wasn't refaced, I don't think I would have even wanted to play this. So good job, Gary Underwood. And finally, the Jazz Tribute mouthpiece. Now, I've only had this for 2.5 days. I was at an event in Ohio for the Central Ohio Saxophone Festival, and I was the guest artist for that. And there was a Con Selmer rep there who had one of these, and I played it, and within like a second, or maybe like 10 seconds of playing it, I gave it back to him because I'm like, hey, I like this a little bit too much. I don't want to play it because I know it's yours. And he was like, well, dude, if you like it, we'll give it to you. And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. So I'm very fortunate to have this. Shout out to the Con Selmer peeps in Ohio. But I really like this mouthpiece for a couple reasons. It has that auto-linky buzz to it that I really dig. I think it's the most even out of the three mouthpieces that I played in the video today. Every note pops really easily. Like I feel it's the least amount of effort to get a full sound. And I don't feel yet, and like I said, I've only played this for like 2.5 days. I don't feel that when I put a lot of air into it, it like spreads and the sound kind of gets flat like this way. It still has that center. I'm not sure exactly what this is based off of, but it has like, the qualities of a later Dukoff, like a Hollywood vibe, or maybe like a Tone Master link, like the darker links. It has a rollover like the Florida and the Boston Sax Shop, but it goes down at a slower rate. It's a longer curve. And also the facing is a very long compared to the other two. Boston Sax Shop is probably the shortest facing out of the three. And I had this actually checked out by Brian Powell, who was at the Ohio Sax event. Shout out to Brian. And he said that the measurements were perfect on it. It's just a very long and lengthy facing curve and baffle curve. Like the rollover is super long. I'll try and show this in the close-ups. But like I said, it just plays so evenly and so easily, like right off the bat. And pretty in tune. I think Metal Mouthpiece, especially in this kind of vibe, for me, plays sharp. And I don't feel like I'm playing playing super sharp on this yet. It is an 8, which is a little bit big for my preference these days, but with the 3 Boston Sax Shop reed, I didn't feel that it was too big or that I was kind of losing any. I didn't feel like I had to put more air into it to get a sound. So I'm super impressed by this. My buddy Ben Solomon was the one that told me to check this one out. He got one from Selmer, and he was really blown away by it. And so we talked about it, and he was like, man, if you can get your hands on one, definitely try it. And he was right. This is one of my favorite new modern mouthpieces that I've tried in recent years. So shout out to Selmer Paris and Con Selmer for doing great work on this. I am not going to say which one's my favorite. If you want to see which one's my favorite, try and come catch a show of mine. I will be linking shows. I'll be linking gig dates in the description. I got some festivals coming up in the South, and then I'm going up north more in the later summer into the fall, playing in New York a good bit, playing in Boston, playing in Florida as well. Those are like my 3 main hubs. Nashville. So be on the lookout for that. I'll be uploading some new videos as well with my trio and quartet. Shout out to Dan the Man on the camera for editing all my videos. This one I did myself, so bear with. Not the same quality as him, but we're trying something out new. Please share your thoughts in the description below. Let me know which one you like the best, and I hope to see you in another video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.